Hey yo, what's good everybody? I'm like walking home from work and just, I felt like venting and I don't have anybody to vent to, so I figure I vent here before I go live on YouTube. So I'll just put this on YouTube. I guess too, don't mind the cars in the background. I've got like I said, walk home. I don't have a lot of things going great in life right now. So I'm like trying my best to stay positive, but you know, it's okay. We move and you know, we go with the flow, we roll with the punches. I really honestly, I feel like only have to vent about one thing, and that's the state of basically me boxing. I mean, everything seems to be going right. The music, me uploading here and there. Sure, I haven't uploaded a whole lot like I have been recently because of recent events. But, you know, uploads and live streams are still going on. I feel like the only thing that I keep making promises or scheduling to you guys is the boxing shit. And I mean, we're getting the CPU pay-per-views and yada this and that. Fights and matches are still going on, but we all know what everyone's wanting to be entertained by, and that's the boxing, the MMA, whatever you want to do. It's mostly boxing right now, but you know, I have made, I think, several matches with Mason Plank, and whether he gives a damn whether he's mentioned here or not and it starts anything, I do not care. I am saying purely what I have on my mind, and I'm going to be blunt as hell. So whoever hates this, whoever likes it, I don't care. This is me just speaking from the heart and the mind of what I'm seeing and how I'm feeling. And simply that is, Mason's scared. I feel like everybody of half of who I have decided to try and fight are scared. I mean, look at the statistics here. I challenged Denver once. Actually twice, because we were supposed to be scheduled to have a rematch and shit. So that's something that was scheduled to happen. And basically what happened was, Denver and me ended up fighting, and basically the status of me boxing, everybody liked to chat shit on me and on the other name of Tron. It doesn't matter. Colton, Tron, I don't care. They chatted shit on names. I was one of those names. And really, honestly, I feel like people only chat good about people who they think they can fight, or who they think can fight good in a fight based on popularity. Denver is much more popular than me. I've been an outcast. I'm only now, I guess you could quite say, popular, because everybody knows who the fuck I am because of how I've set my foundation and how I've placed myself from the bottom of the mountain to the top, whether I'm as noticed or not. I know everyone who sees me either knows me by Colton or Novatron, and then honestly, I don't see it as popularity, but everyone else does. I practically see it as I'm noticed right now. So see that as you will, but that's the way I see it personally. But back to the topic at hand, everyone sees this as a popularity thing. Denver and I ended up fighting because everyone yes-manned him into it. I did it out of purely no one hyping me up. The only, probably, if I had to admit, the only person who ever hyped me up was my friends, Gavin and Jimmy. And even then, it wasn't even hype. It was, are you sure you want to do this? Or, yeah, you can take him. Or, you got this. And basically all that shit. Just not being yes men or hype men. It's just people who were supportive of what I wanted to do with my life and the future of that career with boxing. Basically, to top that off, everyone voted against me. I was the underdog that whole entire bout in rivalry with Denver. And I ended up quieting everybody after I slaughtered Denver for fucking 5 straight rounds. And at the end of the day, whether the judges got it wrong or not, they fixed it. And people who were even on Denver's side voted against him and voted me. I milli rocked him for 5 straight rounds and won by unanimous decision. Now, that doesn't matter. My point is I beat them. And then they were like, oh, this and that, Nova, Colton, this and that can't wear a boxing match. He's only fighting people that are weaker than him, and this and that. And this is how it plays into popularity. I challenge Mason, right, to silence them. I'm like, okay, I fought Denver. You guys thought he would beat me because he's popular, and everybody you guys think are popular has a chance to win now. Now, that may be different nowadays, but back then, you cannot tell me that that was not true. And if you think that isn't true, then you're chatting shit out of your ass. Like, for real. It was a popularity contest. Whoever was popular, that was top dog, that was top name. Whether they had any skill of fighting or not, they were automatically chosen to win because of their status of being known. And so I kind of was like, okay, and then beat the fuck out of him. And then I was like, okay, you guys want to still chat shit? Fine. And I challenged at least one of the top dogs who aren't very known, but has every statistic over me. Power, bulk, muscle, probably speed, probably stamina, strength. Perfect built for knocking someone out. Perfect built for fighting. I challenged that. The skinny kid who has high metabolism, that can't get big no matter how much they try, could eat a chocolate cake after working out and that not even gain him any weight, with sort of muscle and only a little bit of boxing skill at this point, challenging a guy who didn't even probably need skill to knock me out or even beat me in a fight, let alone a boxing match. I challenged that motherfucker. And what happened? Excuses after excuses after excuses. That match got planned twice. And Mason, you've put out everything that you've possibly said. And you want to know what? Everyone believes you. And they even believe you more now because now you're more well known than I am. Because of who not only you're dating, but because of how you're dating them. You date this girl. This girl is known by everybody for multiple reasons. You're dating them, which makes you top dog automatically because everyone knows who that person is dating, which is you. Regardless, you had no excuse. Your mental health. If your mental health was really that bad and that good of an excuse, Mason, then how the fuck were you good in like 3 days tops? Able to go. You were still training. If you're so depressed and mentally not well, you wouldn't have anything to want to do, whether you could do it or achieve it or not. Because I would know. I've been in that place by the same motherfucker you're dating. Regardless, I'm not going to try and bring that shit here. My point is, the only valid excuse you had to drop out of our fight was your arm injury. And even then, you still had time to fight before you even gained that injury. And before that injury was even bad, Mason. Regardless, you hopped out, you dropped out. You know, and that's the thing. All these guys are little dogs compared to me. We're not cut from the same breed. We're not the same animal. All these little pups, little chihuahuas, get a big chokered collar around their fucking wrist, up on their fucking neck with a big ass chain, and they act like they roll the roost. They own the yard. They're the top dogs that have this big ass spark like the fierce warrior of a lion or a tiger, or even a bear. And then this guy with a rope around its neck comes from bad background, who comes up, no chances of win, and barks back at the little fucking chihuahua, who could obviously win. And the little chihuahua backs down. You want to know why that is? Why everyone doesn't want to fight me? Why everyone's scared of me? Because they see this skinny kid, right? They want to fight him. They want to prove to everybody that he's not good at what he says he is. and beat him to prove to everybody that they aren't nothing but shit talkers. They chat nothing but shit. And then what happens? They publicly DM the guy, and both men go back and forth, and they act all tough. And basically, they act all tough in the DM. And then the guy's acting tough in the DM. They're going back and forth. And that's another difference, where they're going back and forth. And the guy is like, yeah, I'll do this fight. And the other guy's like, yeah, I'll do this fight too. And the minute they come face to face, or the minute they come in talks with each other and hear their real voices, the real issues that come out, the real acting, the real mentality that comes from the heart, from the brain, the mentality that they have, the little dog backs out. And that means I'm talking to Mason, I'm talking to Blake, I'm talking to Denver. It doesn't matter, bro. I have come in contact with Mason several times to try and set a fight up, because that's the most talked fight that everyone wants to see. That motherfucker has backed out twice. Alright? That motherfucker has backed out twice. And he's getting held back by his own girl to not fight me. Because she deep now knows, whether how much she's talked shit about me, that I will beat you. That I can have the power to do something to any of these motherfuckers that I have challenged. My fucking phone probably just glitched out. I don't know if you guys have heard me speaking or not. Regardless, my point is I've been in the public DMs of fucking Blake and Jimmy Pruitt and you, Mason. Jimmy is the only one I feel like that has had valuable excuses. He wants to be in the gym. Fine. Mason, you've been in and out of the gym, so you honestly have zero excuse. Not to mention, you said you're valuably ready to start getting back into the fighting thing against me. Because of what you said on the live stream when me and Tucker were supposed to fight, which is another fighter who has dropped out. That's no longer in the works. Dominic McBride is another one of those people that had a valuable excuse to hop out because of issues going on with his body. But regardless, that's another hop out. Jimmy, and then we have Denver. We go back to Denver. I challenged that motherfucker to a rematch because originally I lost due to the judge's bad call. And that motherfucker hopped out. He was only in to fight me because he got hyped up by popularity. And soon after that, the motherfucker didn't want to fight me because he had no one on his back, because I proved everybody wrong. I made them all silent because I beat the fuck out of him for 5 straight rounds. It was clear that I won that fight. And that's why the judges took it into consideration to turn it around. And they did. And I beat him. And you know, big kahuna is to Aiden Brown because he took your fucking place, Mason, by hopping in your spot. And man, at least the motherfucker threw a punch, unlike Denver. So that's something. I'm just at a loss for words, man. I'm at a loss for words of the state of all these dudes. Jimmy, you're a liable opponent, all right? I've been in talks with you. I'm not going to keep bothering you about it. If you really wanted to fight me, you would have already done some fucking move, because I've already made mine. Blake, it's obvious that you're scared of me. You talk all the time, from what I hear, about wanting to beat the fuck out of me because I got a loud mouth. Then show me something, motherfucker. I fucking have texted you, and all my messages through your Instagram DMs have been nothing but seen messages, and you blocked me, which shows you're nothing but a little bitch and a pussy. Fucking Mason, I've contacted you twice. You've made all these fake ass excuses, and the only valid one you have is your fucking arm. And even then, I'm sitting here challenging you, and nothing, literally nothing. Denver's run away out of fucking state. That's how fucking amazing he doesn't want to fight me. Motherfucker has fled. And fucking Dominic has a valid excuse, so I'm not even going to speak on him. Tucker, I don't even care about that fight anymore. Everyone knows like would have beat the fuck out of you. So there's no need for any of that. My point is I'm back, alright? And I'm going to be back in August, regardless. I'm going to see a lot of you motherfuckers who are apparently still chatting shit behind closed doors, behind my back. And we're gonna see if you keep the same energy when I meet you in person. Now, whether that schedules a boxing match or not, fair play to that or not. All I know is the state of this right now between me, boxing, and these guys that I have listed off. Whether a fight happens between them or not, it's not my state of mind right now. My state of mind is the amazing wowness of the state of mentality that I am in right now because of all these guys chatting shit, the popularity, and everything else above the fucking blue moon that these guys have had excuses for to either pull out or try to stay in. It's honestly, it's sad. And listen, all I really honestly got to say to end this vent, since it's practically been all over the place, is if we're going to box, let's box. If you're going to make an excuse, make a valid one. If you're not going to make a valid one, then don't sign up for what you were about to sign up for. Because everyone sitting here who wanted to humble me before I fought Aiden, before I fought Denver, have all become silent, including you, Blake. If anyone's the most shit-talking out of this, it's you. From what I know, you can't keep your big mouth shut. So I suggest shutting it, because obviously you want none of this after all the messages that I've sent you. Regardless, man, everyone wants to be the guy who shuts this skinny kid down, who wants to be the fella that has shut that ego that I have down a notch, who wants to prove to every one of their popularity friends that, hey, I did it. This kid really isn't nothing. He just got lucky like twice in both of his fights. Then prove that to them. Come do something. Let's sign something. I don't care. Regardless, let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. I don't care how long the rounds. I don't care how many of the rounds. I don't care the stipulations. You want to fight? Let's do this. Prove them that you're right. To knock this skinny kid down with a loud mouth and a big ego down a notch. To humble me. Because as of right now, I feel like I'm just humbling y'all with my words. And from what you've shown, no one wants anything. No one wants anything. So I suggest all this shit talking honestly just stops. It's bogus. And it isn't getting you guys anywhere. That's all I really honestly have to say. So, sorry for ranting and venting. Just felt like it needed to be said elsewhere, since this is probably the biggest platform I have next to Snapchat and Instagram. So if you want to add me on those, you can. At Colton Davis 30 on Snapchat and at Novatrons on Instagram. Guys, you guys want to box? Let's make this happen. If not, stay silent and don't let me hear another peep from you guys, honestly, because I've got bigger and better fish to fry. And even if I can't find bigger and better fish to fry, I'm still on the way of coming up in this game, to coming up in this sport. And I don't need people like you dragging me down. It's stupid and ridiculous. And it only makes you guys look more like pussies than you already are. Listen, I'll send this fucking screenshots of these people if I have to, but regardless, man, you know what you said, you know what you have pulled out for, you know your excuses, and you know that I have not made a single excuse to pull out of anything. I'm always down for the challenge, and I've always pulled up to every boxing fight that I've ever been in, whether that's only 2 or not. I'm down. If anyone is down, if any of these people that I have shouted out are down, make the time to train and make the time to do it, or don't sign up, regardless. And that's point blank, period. This is Tron out, guys. Peace.